It's Cassie Oelberg in Seals Grove, Pennsylvania, and we are going to do sketch 2 from the September virtual crop. Now, as you may recall, I do a sketch from the virtual crop every week, and I build it on Fast Fab pages and show how to make that work for you to save you time and money. We are going to just hop right into it today. So, you know me, I like to just get down to it. So, this is the sketch, the PDF that you can print out. And this was sketch 2. As you can see, it just used 2 pictures. And the 2 pictures is not going to bring me joy. I like to do a little bit more than that. So I'm going to show you what I did with it. I did keep it on the slant, but I did 2 pictures. And then I went ahead and slanted 2 pictures next to it. And I did build it on the spring soiree Fast Fab. So let's go ahead and do it again so that you can see. So I am just going to tilt it in the opposite direction. My good friend Esther was visiting and I said, well, I slanted this direction and now I'm having trouble deciding where I want it to slant. And then I decided mirroring it would be good, and she agreed. And then I decided that I needed to make sure that I knew the measurements for here. So we're going to go over all of that. So what I used was this Fast Fab page. As you can see, it's completely solid here. So what I did was I covered this up. Now, as you may have noticed with Fast Fab pages, oftentimes there is a matching sheet of paper. And that makes it really, really good for being able to use what's already there, but being able to make it work for what you want. So that's exactly what I did here. So I just cut a piece of this. I just needed 2 inches. And the way I determined that was clear ruler, favorite tool. Well, lots of favorite tools, but one of my favorite tools. And I just came over here 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a 2-inch little slice here. And there we go. And then this is just going to go right down here. Right down here, and it leaves a little teeny tiny bit of that border, but I did that on purpose so that it did not look like it was supposed to line up, and that fixed it. And as you can see on the finished product, it won't matter. So then we are going to cut ourselves a 1/2 inch frame. Now, if you were with me last week, you remember that the lines do not go, the measurement does not go all the way down to 12.5 on here. So you do have to look up here for the measurement because it is 1 inch between here and here. So all you have to do is bring this over to 1/2 inch. I'm going to take this out from under. When you're cutting really, really small amounts, small numbers, then you really want to make sure that everything is perfectly flat because it's so easy to mess it up. So we're going to bring the front of it down to 1.5, which puts our cut line at 1/2 inch. And we want to bring this down to 12.5. Since we can't see that, we're going to go backwards. Since we want the cut line to be at 11.5, 10.5 will work just fine for the back of this. So you kind of have to angle your head a little bit. Watch your numbers carefully. And bring it down to the 10.5. Super simple. And we get exactly what we need. I'm going to bring this over here and just again, front down to 1.5. Cut lines at 1/2 inch. Keep an eye on the number. See how easy peasy that works? And you get this little tiny border, frame border. Okay, so down to the 1/2 inch. Once again. See, I just slow down when I get to that point. Imagine that, Cassie slowing down. It's like a miracle, right? Okay. And once again, this is at the 1.5. We're going to bring this down and voila. So now I have all this paper that I can use for something else. And that brings me joy because I love this sheet of paper and I will do fun things with it. So now I'm going to take my frame, come over here, put this back. Oh, my sketch is running away from me. I don't want that at some point. And now, oh shoot. Cut my frame, broke it, not a big deal. Okay. Scrapbooking. I'm going to tape it down with my mini tape runner. That's always my problem with doing things on air. Is I may seem like Cassie could do anything on air, but I actually do just get a little tiny bit nervous when I'm on air. And so sometimes I do things like rip my frame because I am focusing on making sure it looks good on the screen. But not a big deal. I am going to put it down here. Let's see which corner is going to be best for that. I think this corner over here because I'm going to cover a lot of it up in this corner. So when you make a boo-boo, just think about how you want your page to be laid out in the end. And it will help you to determine where that little boo-boo should go. See, I did that on purpose just so that I could help you girls out. Isn't that nice of me? Okay, so this is going to just come over, down. Now let that be just a little bit crooked because it's ripped. So get this one here straight. And voila. Right. Okay, next up, let's just get this up here a little. Okay, next up, we are going to go ahead and we're going to add in these borders. So super easy to do. We need, this is a 1/2 inch, so we just need 11 inches by 2 for the purple. So we're going to bring that over. 7 by 2. Not moving that to the side time. I just feel like that's what set me down that path. We're going to leave it. And now I need 1 3/4 inch. So I always do anything 1 3/4 or less over to the right, just because it gives me this nice table to hold my paper still and I can get my better. This off. Now these are going to come over here, and these are going to start 2 inches from the bottom. So I'm just going to grab my nice handy dandy repositionable tape, and I'm going to put this over here because I want to make sure that the pattern is going the same way. So that's something to always double check whenever you are using a directional paper, and especially if it doesn't have an obvious, like it could go either way. And I'm going to move this over a little bit so that I can see where my 2 inches is. Okay, so 2 inches up is right here. I forgot to cut it down to 11. Good job, Cassie. You are batting 1,000 today. I'll tell you what. Or 500 or whatever that baseball term is. Can you tell how into sports I am? If it doesn't involve a musical instrument, probably wasn't my thing. Although my son did wrestle, and I used to like get down in the front row, and I'd be screaming for him, and I'd be twisting my body in all the different ways that he twisted. It was really quite a comical thing to watch, and by the time I was done, I felt like I had a whole workout. So, okay. So 2 inches up from the bottom. And 11 inches not up. There we go. So this one is going to go on top of it. Oh, and I tape instead of my repositionable tape. Oh, I'm having a day, guys. Just have some stuff going on. My brain is a little fried, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to want this flower to be here this time. So I'm going to turn it this way. And then I'm going to put it down right here at the edge. And it's going to go right across until it hits here. And then I just go like this and I snip it where it needs snipped. No measurements required. Just pull it up. And we have flowers. There we go. And next up, we need these to be matted. So I need to cut this picture down because I have a 4.5 inch strip. This was 4.5, so I don't have to trim it that way. And then I'm just going to have to take a little bit off of this photo. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. I'm going to take it off of here because I really want that chandelier and everything on this photo. And cut an inch off. I'm going to get a 5-inch photo. And I just did that so that I just have the same border going around. So I'm going to mirror it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the big picture on the bottom and the little picture at the top, which is the opposite of this. And I'm not a big measurer, so repositionable tape is my friend. Here. And now I want it to go here, but at the same angle as I did last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my measuring scales. Put this up here. And it's going to go 2 inches on the top and 5 inches on the bottom. Because what I did over here, I'll just put it. I find to show and show. So over here, this corner was 2 inches on the bottom. So we're going to make it 2 inches on the top. Just use this little 2-inch right there. And then on the bottom, I did and then on the top on this one, it's going to be bottom on the other. 5 inches over to the corner. So we're going to do 5 inches for this corner over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to the 7. And then we're going to tape it down. So sure this is straight. Something I don't always take the time to do is make sure things are straight. And I need to make sure I do that more. So, you know what? I wanted it here though. Sorry. 1. And I wanted it opposite. Don't you love that you get to think with me? I'm having one of those days where my brain is in a fog. I had some stuff happen and I'm not all here. Okay, so 5 up here, 2 down here. It's just going in the opposite direction. I was trying to reverse it and go again that way and do opposite, but look. Now, look at that. Super cute. And I'm going to take and trim off this little extra. Right there. And I'm going to trim my little bit extra off over here. Off. I have it again. And now I'm just going to mirror these pictures right here. So I'm going to put the little one at the top and the big one at the bottom. And they're just going to use the same angle. And picture is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So I put this right here. Found a picture with lots mixed at the top, lots of extra space at the top. Look at how beautiful those flowers were in Queen Victoria's. Oh my gosh. She was my favorite queen that I learned about in England because she was really a scrapbooker, guys. She journaled everything and she had artists come in and paint beautiful photos of all the important things. And birthdays were really big to her. I ain't gonna make this one be up top. I don't want to cover up those flowers. It just would not bring me joy to cover them up. I want them there. Anyway, she had photographers come in and not photographers, painters come in and they painted all of the important things. And then she journaled everything. When I learned about her and I saw all of those journals, I thought, oh my gosh, if I were a queen, this is the queen I would want to be. So anyway, so now I'm going to add some stickers up here. And I am going to find the joy in things. Because I do try to find all the joy things. There's so much not joy out there that you got to really focus on the little things. I'm going to use the simple, the write-on stickers, the white ones, and I'm going to write right here. So that's my plan for this little spot. And that's how I'm going to get my journaling in for this beautiful flower show. And then there we go. We have matching pages, and we did the second virtual crop. I'm going to lift this up just a little bit. And here we go. Put this down. And I really like how this turned out. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, and you have a fabulous day.